Based in the 1970s, this story is about a boy named Finney who is kidnapped from the masked childhood killer, aka the Grabber. He's then thrown into a soundproof room with no escape. Day after day, he screams and cries for help, but no one can hear him until one day he hears the phone ring, but it's disconnected. He then walks to the phone and picks it up, hearing nothing but static. Then after a couple of seconds, he hears a voice and realizes that it is the spirit of each victim that was in the same position that he was in. Day after day, Finney is given a clue that can help him go one step further from escaping. But the only way to reach that finish line of freedom from the grasp of the Grabber is to wait for the next phone call from the black phone. I was playing back that intro, the synopsis, and I was like, one step further from escaping. Isn't it one step further to escape? Anyways, I was just trying to create a good intro. How's that for an intro? Hey, yo, I mess up all the time, so it is what it is. Today is, wait, hold on, let me introduce myself. My bad. My name is Fernando de la Cruz. I am a filmmaker slash photographer, and I know it's been a minute. I know. You guys know how I am at this point. But, you know, I've been realizing that it would be cool, because I've been watching a lot of films lately, and I was like, it would be cool to start doing movie reviews, and here we are. Like, me and my girlfriend Olivia, we just got done seeing The Black Phone, and we both were totally intrigued by how this was. It took us a minute to finally see it. That's why it's about, 2 weeks later from reviewing this film, and we finally saw it. And I was like, you know what? I think it'd be cool to do movie reviews. And this will be my first one, and let's see how this goes. So today I'm going to be giving my review for The Black Phone, and I have to say it's a pretty good film. So let's start with the review. The Black Phone was directed by Scott Derrickson, who was the same director that made Sinister. And believe it or not, that was actually one of the first films that I saw that actually scared the crap out of me. Because I've been watching horror films ever since I was like, or 7. No. I've been watching horror films ever since I was 3 or 4. I think it was 4. It takes a good bit to freak me out. And that was one of the first films that actually like made me feel at edge. I saw that the same director that directed the Sinister is the same director that directed The Black Phone. I was like, let me give it a shot. And when I was watching the film, I could totally tell it was made by the same person because they both share the same type of color scheme and the same type of build that makes you get pulled in toward the story and makes you not want to stop looking. I can tell that this film was also inspired by Gacy, judging by the Grabber grabbing kids in his van and the balloons and whatnot. He wasn't a clown, but he was a magician, which Gacy, he was a clown who had a bunch of balloons and whatnot. He would entertain the children and whatnot. The Grabber, Ethan Hawke, he would do the same thing and lure kids and grab them. Also, I also noticed that if you see near the middle toward the end, the sister is riding in a yellow jacket looking for the brother. And come on now, if you were to watch the back and compare it to it, you can totally look at this. The yellow jacket right there. You can see my light. I'm not gonna, yeah, there's a light in the background. The yellow jacket. And I was like, come on now.
We all float down here.
The positives about this film is that it had a great storyline. Finney and his sister, they're raised by a dad who lost his wife, heavy drinker, and it was 1970, so whenever the kids were doing wrong and weren't doing what he was saying, there was the belt involved, and it was quite hard to watch, especially one scene when the dad punishes his daughter because the daughter, she started to have dreams that she started to know that were coming true. It was the same thing that her mom did, but something bad happened to her mom. I'm not gonna explain too much, but you already probably know where this is going. And the dad didn't want the same fate to happen to his daughter. It was pretty heavy. But one thing that I did like about this film is that it had a lot of jump scares, but in today's horror films, not these are good slasher films from back in the day, they didn't rely on jump scares. Because I noticed if you watch movies today, horror films today, it's just jump scares out left and right, and you know when they're coming. But with the Black Phone, it's a good build, and it correlates with what's going on in the scene. It's not reliant on the jump scares, but it correlates with what's going on. And the benefit of it is that you don't see it coming. You see a scene where Finney is on the Black Phone, turns around, and boom, you see a girl like bending backwards. You hear dripping. And I was, in my mind, I thought maybe that was water or something. And when you turn around, you just out of nowhere, you see a girl bent backwards, like floating in the air, and there's blood dripping. And that was the girl that was talking to Finney on the phone, of one of the victims that were in the same situation he was in. And I was like, what the like what the but you know, it was cool to know. The one thing I like about this film too is that when the sister Gwen, she starts having these dreams, and it makes you wonder, is Finney gonna survive? Because there's a point in, I'm trying my best not to spoil it, but there's a point where Gwen gives the cops a clue, and she guides them, and you wonder, is Finney gonna survive or not? Because like, I was trying to figure everything out, and it lets you to different directions, which I liked because it wasn't predictable. And that's another thing that is a positive about this film. It makes you think. It makes you really think on what's really going to happen. You might kind of think like things are going to happen a certain way, but when you really watch, it's like it doesn't. And that's another thing that I loved about this, about the Black Phone, is that it's very unpredictable. Because a lot of films these days, a lot of horror films, you just know what the hell is going to happen. With this, it's more like, is he really going to survive? Because there's a lot of situations where Finney, his time is running out, you know? But the one thing that really got me, which is, I'm going to talk about the negatives now. The one thing that really got me is that the grabber had a habit of grabbing kids that were fighters and bullies. It's like, he wasn't a kid either. I was watching it and I was like, how the hell did you grab this guy? Once you watch the pinball scene, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. How the hell did that boy get grabbed? He could have knocked the out of the grabber, and then boom, he's done. Yeah. But no, he grabbed him somehow. And in the beginning, you see Finney's friend beating the kid up, a bully, to teach him a lesson. And I was like, the grabber got him too. And that's the one thing that got me. The only thing that they showed was the grabber chloroforming and whatnot, but it never really go into detail on why he chose certain people. For me, I just like to understand why he did what he did, or what's the reason behind that. But I think like maybe there was, that's the one thing that I didn't like, that it was everything was just randomly grabbing people instead of showing like his process. I don't know. I'm just used to I guess, like me being heavy into this serial killer documentaries. I like to understand how they think and why, and or what causes him to go toward what he is right now. But again, that's what I noticed that got me, because like it just didn't make any sense to me. Also, another thing, I don't know if this was on purpose, but I noticed that the cops were just fillers. Like, you don't see them trying, as it kind of looked like it was like it was a way of saying like how the cops were back then. And around that time, catching serial killers was hard. That they didn't have the same technology that we have today, and they were just really, it took them a long time. They had to rely on Gwen with her premonitions or dreaming of the future to really find this guy. And it's almost like this has happened before. And to me, that made the cops look lazy. And I was like, wow, this is a thing, huh? So I just wish they would have went more in detail, like almost how they did the Zodiac. So that's just another thing that I noticed that made no sense. The cops had no play in it. All it was really just mainly Gwen and Finney, and mainly Finney and the grabber, and that's it. Which I liked in a way. I thought that was interesting because it was a way of showing that you can build a big story based on a small cast. You know, all it was one protagonist. Really, in reality, all it was one protagonist, one antagonist, and a bunch of spirits helping the protagonist out. They had little parts in it, but it was mainly just about Finney and the grabber. The Finney, and that's it. The grabber, and that's it. So, another thing that got me was when Finney was so close to escaping, and then the grabber gets him, and there's a noise outside. And the neighbors turn on their porch lights, and the grabber grabs the boy's face and keeps him quiet and gets a blade on him, and the neighbors don't look out to see what the hell that was. Not even look out the window. All you did was turn the porch light on. That made zero sense to me, because to me, in reality, if you heard something that seemed like a ruckus, you want to know what the hell is going on. Not just, oh, must have been my imagination. Why'd you turn the light on in the first place? You know, that part made zero sense. But again, that part, it made me feel like it was a movie. I was hearing that in the crowd, and in my mind, it's like, it's a movie. But the thing is, when you watch a film, you shouldn't feel like that's the one thing you don't want to do, is make the audience know that it's a movie. You build a story in a way that you don't feel like it's a movie. You feel like it's an experience, or you're actually there, or you feel what the victims feel. You feel what the antagonist feels. You feel what everyone's just going through. You feel what everyone's going through. Like, you can relate with them, as if you're as if you're literally in their shoes. At the end of the day, was this a great film? Yes. Would I recommend anyone who is interested in seeing this film to see it? Yes, because it may have its pitfalls here and there, but it has a great storyline, and I love the concept behind it. The spirits contacting him through the black phone to help him escape from the grabber. I've never heard of a concept like that. So, in my opinion, for my thoughts, I give 4 out of 5 due to the concept being so freaking amazing. Horror, I would say 3 out of 5, because to me, it wasn't really horrific. It was more of a suspense, mysterious type of film. So if that's the type of film you're into, nothing too scary, and have sinister vibes to it, you will love The Black Phone. And when it comes to the story, awesome. Again, interesting concept. So if you guys have a chance to see The Black Phone, go for it. You won't be disappointed. Like my girlfriend loves Olivia, which she was supposed to be here, but she had to leave a couple hours ago, so unfortunately she couldn't come say hello. So because I know she'll be in the background right now saying something about it, because she adored that phone. Because we've been doing that a lot lately, since I'm also with 3BT Productions, as you all heard from the last video. Me and Olivia, we've been doing a lot of movie dates. And I was like, yo, why not? What do you think about doing movie reviews? She's like, I think that'd be cool. And I was like, I thought I'd give it a try. So here I am. This is my first one, and I thought I'd give it a shot. And plus, I did like The Black Phone, so I thought, why not do a review about it and see where this goes. So I'll ask y'all, what's the next film you would like me to review? I'm gonna keep on reviewing either way, but I'm curious what you all think. But that's all for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe. And until next time, hold on. Which, before I end this video, Olivia, if you're watching, love ya. But until next time, see ya.